Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is the third session in a month-long series of Swoop bikes or Swoop Gang, which is a hack of a reskin of One Percenters, which comes from Creepy Doll Studios. One Percenters, as created, was a Sons of Anarchy Mayan MC style game where the characters are members of a biker gang that is a chapter, and they do crimes, but they also have a sense of community. Ooh, the physical. Greg showing off the physical book. That's so cool. I've hacked it for Star Wars, which is why I call it Swoop Gangs. And while hacking for Star Wars, I've added in some new stuff. In fact, a brand new mechanic that I literally stole, no pride whatsoever, from Miguel Espinosa's wonderful game Nawal. Nawal is great. You should totally check it out. It's a Mexican fantasy monster angel hunting game that I adore. And I said, this could be cool to model a swoop bike shop, which is what our player characters own and operate. This is a front or a business that the gang has, similar to, inspired by Orange County Choppers, a reality show of note for a few years that is no longer being produced, as far as I know. Although, if it is, I wouldn't be surprised, because why not? Reality shows are cheap, right? But the idea behind it is that they own and operate a custom swoop bike shop. And while operating in the swoop bike shop, they are producing a HoloNET, which is the Star Wars TV, a HoloNET show that gains them some popularity. And then at night or off camera, they go out, do illegal things on the planet of Corellia, which you can see behind me. It is a heavily industrialized planet. We are playing after the Death Star, second Death Star, has been destroyed. Palpatine fell down a hole, was in a space station that blew up. Obviously, he's never coming back. The Empire is falling, but Corellia, even though it is a mid-rim planet, did not fall to that Imperial force did not fall to the New Republic for a while. And we're in that period when most of the galaxy is being freed from the tyranny of the Empire. But this one of the last bastions of the Imperial grasp is still present. There is a shipyards here used to create star destroyers. There is a trooper academy, an officer academy here. There are a lot of imps on Corellia. We are playing in Coronet City, which is the capital city. Believe it or not, it's not Corellia City. I love that. It's called Coronet City. And Coronet City is a place that was defined, I believe, in KOTOR or just Old Republic, one of the video games. So we have a cool map. And I've modified the map just a little bit in case folks check. You'll see Rebel Incursion in that little hole in the middle. That's where something was exploded for a block or so, and it was blamed on Rebels. But we have some cool neighborhoods. The swoop bike shop is located in the southeast corner of the Labor Valley sector or neighborhood. And it's not far from the Rebel Incursion, the Blight, as it is known. And yeah, that's our loose setup. The gang is named the Broken Circle. And this game started off in a GCOG back in March, where Keith and Tyler played along with a few other cool players, and they rode with this concept. And I'm very excited that they were able to come back. Keith's been previous to Tyler, due to scheduling, is only able to join us for today. So we will do our best to make it as fun as possible. Everyone, try your best to give fun to Tyler, so he can be like, I love that Swoop Gangs game. And he'll brag about it to Lowell and Sherry and his husband Patrick. And I'll be like, yeah, we did that. Anyway, so this is all run as part of the Gauntlet community, online community of fans friends and aficionados of small press OSR and indie tabletop RPGs. With that spiel out of the way, let me remind everyone we do have a set of safety tools, which I highly encourage everyone who runs a tabletop RPG use them. Even if you know everybody, it's still perfectly helpful to have those guardrails of, you know what, this isn't my kind of fun. We have a few lines, which are subject matter we are not interested in exploring in our game. We have veils, which are things that okay if it exists in the story in our world, but we don't want to shine a light on it. For example, I put in the veil for sexual content. Two characters want to hook up, NPC, two PCs, whatever. We say, okay, yeah, we agree that we fade to black. We hear some cool jazz music and then we move past it. Maybe they're smoking death sticks, who knows? And then we have ask first, which is one of those more fuzzy things of situationally, this might be okay, but before you just say it live in the fiction and force our characters to react to it in the moment, step back and approach all of us as fellow players. Hey, I see that we have ask first on midichlorians. How do you feel? That's also an ask. That's one that I put in. I default, like all character keepers, the spreadsheets that we use to hold character. I always have midichlorians because some people, that's the hashtag, not my Star Wars. But hey, I was thinking midichlorian count could be a thing discussed here. I would discuss that with you guys as players. And if anyone says, can you try it a different way? Then we respect that and we move on. Then on top of that, we have the X card. The X card, important part. That's the, I didn't realize I'd have to put a line on this, but it definitely harshes your fun. It can be totally situational. You don't have to defend yourself. You just say, hey, I need to X card this, or I need to drop an X card. If it's not clear to me what is being X carded, I won't challenge you on it, but I may ask just to make sure that that content is excised from our play. If we need to, take a quick break, talk it out. Situationally, we'll make a call if we butt up against that. No problem, no muss, no fuss. I highly encourage you that if you feel the inkling to X card, to go ahead, say something about it. Don't sit on it. It's totally cool. We're all grown-ups. We're here to have a good time. Anything that makes your good time less good time is important to me. Even if it breaks canon, friends, canon is not trumping your comfort. So with all of that out of the way, Tyler coming back to us. Welcome, friend. Welcome. So excited to have you here on Star Wars Saturdays. I know scheduling can be a bitch, so I am glad that you worked this out. If you could introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your character, because three of the players, their characters we haven't interacted on screen, as it were.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I am playing Kel Velmore, who is known as Face. He is the treasurer of our little group. He specializes in smuggling, blackmail, and robbery. He is a talker and a thinker, but not much of a fighter. He's kind of a smooth operator. He is highly devoted to the gang, especially its profit margins, and making sure that we have the best we can and enjoy the most we're able.
And he's been gone for a couple of weeks. I think that's the easiest way for us to say, oh, Face is coming back from a thing. Was he on a long-term job? Did he end up getting pinched and had to serve a little bit of time in the brig? Did he go off world? Was he, if you remember, the president and vice president are both on Coruscant, the capital world? Did he ferry something to them, or do we just not know where Face was? What do you think?
I think I probably was trying to get a hold of supplies, restock, stuff like that. I was looking for a good line for us to get quality parts, pieces, things we can use.
Awesome. So when you arrive on scene, I think what we'll do is we'll let you That will be our fictional, because we're introducing the mechanics for the Swoop bike shop as a mechanism itself. We'll say that Face's arrival means the restock track is replenished, and we'll take it down. I think that'll be cool. Awesome. Thank you very much. And then our other returning OG is Keith. If you could introduce yourself, tell us about your character.
Hello, Keith Stetson. I use the he, him pronouns, and I am playing Throttle, a human or near human. I want to leave it. I never mentioned that the species before, but I realize we're all humans here, and yeah, it's a little dull. So I don't know. There's mystery in her background. She speaks fluent Huttese and never gives the same answer as to why she can do that. Never gives the same answer twice. Mentioned she's the secretary. She takes her duties very seriously, even if she's a bit unconventional with paperwork and forms and storage and sorting and organizing. She does her best, and she knows where everything is. But mostly she is a mechanic and does a lot of the tinkering for the custom Swoop bikes, and also likes to hit people with big, heavy objects, which is how she has the double meaning Duracrete name of Throttle for both the speed of her bikes and the speed of her hitting any nerf herders that might get in the way.
Delightful. Thank you, Keith. Sabine, you are next up. If you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character, the Star.
Well, I'm not the Star. I'm Sabine, and I use any pronouns. I'm playing Ava Briere. It's not screen name, Duracrete name of Armitage, also screen name of Armitage. She has done a bit of acting that was incidental. She never thought that would happen. She's from Corellia. She signed up to be a stormtrooper to escape the whole poverty stuff, and then she was not that bad, but then she got her arms cut up by some dude with a lightsaber, and the Empire, and that's well, it's a long story. She made some serious debts to get some cyber arms, ran off without paying them, but that was on another planet, and besides, these people are probably dead by now. Yeah, she is now, she has acted a bit in action flick Double Payback, still waiting for an offer for Quadruple Payback, the inevitable sequel to that. She has also a cameo in Fear of the Obsidian Clone too, and there are talks that she might be reprise that role with a bit more stuff in part 4, but there's the Asians on it. Anyway, she's running with a Broken Circle, guys. She is she's not really an actor or anything. She's mostly she is a hitter, I guess is the best word. She knows how to hit people and shoot people. Especially shooting is good because you're not that near to them, but you can hit from afar because the cyber arms extend. So yeah, currently she's worried about her little brother, but I leave that to someone else to explain.
That someone else is Greg. Greg, if you could introduce yourself, tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Rido. Rido is his Duracrate name comes from the Star Wars answer to what is in those red barrels that explode. That's Rhydonium. So Rido is Armitage's little brother. He's the chaplain of the gang. He also is pretty hot-headed, gets in trouble a lot. I think we talked about, he also applied but didn't make it as a stormtrooper, ended up with my love interest. Just names this morning, not my thing.
Zimbo.
We were in a warehouse with a lot of spice, and Zimbo disappeared, and I took the fall, snuck out of jail, and now I make custom Swoop bikes. Let's see, last session, Rido kind of stood watch while his sister beat the crap out of a whole bunch of Koopas who were encroaching on her territory at the local fish shop / weapons store, which was very exciting. And we have a tentative relationship with the owner there, Dodo, the Rhodian. Yeah, I think that covers it.
Oh, thank you for reminding us of the fish shop. I didn't even mention that to Tyler, but across the street, there's a weapons dealer that you guys have dealt with, but his front is that it's a fish shop. And right now it's a broken fish shop because a lot of fish tanks were destroyed in the harming of Kubas. Last, but certainly not least, is Stephen.
Hi, I'm Steven. My pronouns are he, him, and today I'm playing Rook, whose pronouns are she, her. Rook is a long-term swoop biker, has been in a couple of different gangs, joined the Broken Circle gang, and is the road captain. So because of her experience, whenever they go out on excursions, she's kind of in charge of what's going on then and there. She's tried to protect the gang last time, led the while the events were going on inside the fish armory, the event across the street. She led the stormtroopers off on a chase, trying to get them away from the area so that everything could get cleaned up before anyone got in trouble. She's also taken advantage of so we have a camera bot that films everything named Fram, and she takes advantage of a couple of the little sub camera bots, REOD or REODs, that basically she's kind of repurposed to film the neighborhood, so she knows a little bit about what's going on around there.
Indeed. Now that was one thing that I assigned out to folks last session, I think, where I asked folks to, if you could fill out our group, and we've added a couple of NPCs. Riyadh's are one of them. Oh, the little camera dudes disappeared. They were on the NPCs tab and now they're disappeared. Anyway, okay. Well,
They
there's
are still
one.
there. They're on row 36 Broken Circle, where Blade and Riot and Kimbabalumba are.
Yeah, but for some reason I only see one. There were two smaller ones that were attached to it. It's fine. Things move around on Google Sheets when you insert an image above. They like just pop around for me. We have Blade, a Nikto, awesome. Love the picture for him, and Kimbabalumba. Is that how we say it?
Sure.
Okay, Kimbabalumba. But if anyone else says, yeah, we should fill out our ranks with more red shirt, cool Broken Circle members, feel free, as we have 3 wonderful members, but there's always room for more. At the end of last session, the crew had decided to put together the custom swoop bike for Zimbo Yu Tomri, who Rido said is a good rider. And I allowed you to set the difficulty for this custom build, saying we all agreed that, and difficulties for rolls are down on row 46 of the Broken Circle Gang tab, that carking hard is what it would take to build one of your bikes. Because being folks who run a swoop bike shop, you got to have good swoop bikes. But you decided to set what we said during last session was like ridiculous. Now that difficulty level, I need to update the rule stock, is Inkabunga, because Inkabunga in Huttese is incredible, surprising, or amazing, and that just sounds fun. So now we can say, what? That's Inkabunga, difficulty of 5. Knowing that if you did not achieve that difficulty, there was just something a little off about the ride. Either it visually didn't appear as sleek, or there was something a little twitchy or glitchy, or it possibly is unsafe. You failed that roll, just barely. You rolled 4 successes. You basically made a bike that would be equivalent to your own work, but there's something not quite right. And so there is a choice that you now have, friends. See, in his magnanimity, Ducat Dupas Tomri offered you 10,000 credits for this build. And in the mechanics of our new Swoop Bike rules, Swoop Bike gang rules, the Swoop Bike shop, I don't know, I'm going to come up with a new name. The Changaro rules for it, just stealing everything from Noel. It was 3 profit. 3 profit. You can eat one of those profit and fix whatever is not quite right about Zimbo's bike. Or as Armitage argued at the very end of our session, she's an imp. She's an Imperial. Why would you give them the best work anyway? And so we end our session with, I think you were having the argument of, oh, this doesn't look quite right. It's X or Y, or there was a thing that Rook had thrown in about it being able to change colors on the bike so that she could make it as sleek or awesome as she wanted, have it match her hair, who knows? And there are a few other bibs and bobs that were placed on this Swoop bike that you're discussing. Not everything hangs together perfectly. And I think that's when maybe Face arrives as this conversation is starting to coalesce into a potential argument or a decision factor. Face, you said you were bringing some supplies back. What's your arrival like? Are you on some kind of huge floating truck, like a hover truck, or are you coming in on a shuttle or what?
Yeah, I think it's probably like a hover lorry. Maybe it's not like a big transfer truck size, more like a, mid-size U-Haul.
Nice.
And as I hop out and kind of breathe in the air of home, feeling a bit happy to be back. I'm probably going to be looking for, I suppose it's, I think Rook would be our ranking at the moment, right?
That's right. Yeah. And so Rook is working on the repairing the bike and trying to get it to look just right. Whenever you arrive, and I think I hop out and I'm like, oh, good, and I kind of walk up and I put my arm around your face and I'm like, it's good to see you again.
Give the pat back. It's nice to be back. I have been through every salvage yard in half of Corellia.
Well, let's see what you got.
And,
we open up the back of that truck.
Mm-hmm. Some of it first rate. Some of it we're gonna have to work on. But I had a fantastic deal on the whole bunch.
So I think we start to unload bits and pieces, and I think as we do that, I'm talking to Face, and I want to hear the stories about, like, I think we're telling stories back and forth. So I tell them about shooting up the fishmonger, across the street, and how, these what were they? Kubas? The Kubas came in and they were trying to mess that guy up. He's thankless. He didn't thank us for helping him out or running him off. He just yelled at us. So, that guy can go to Smith, right? So anyway, so we and then I listened to Face's stories about, like, how he got the deal and who he had to talk to.
Yeah, and it's we dealt with names Val Tremont over and over again. Still didn't want to give it to me, still busted my balls all the way through. And then I had to remind him that little chippy that he had on the side, and his wife would kill him if she knew.
Good. Yeah. So, and I think as we unload the bike, I think, we unload the pieces and everything and all the stuff from the back of the truck. And I think I go over to this one compartment and I kind of eye Face. And it's one of these, it's like the side of the truck itself. And I think I open it up and it's a smuggling compartment that, maybe not very many people know are there. And I think there's some, I think that this is where, extra stuff is kept. and I think this smuggling, event is going to be like, I think this is medical equipment, right? Because I think the imps keep real tight control over all that stuff. So we've got, a little bit of Bacta, a little bit of diagnostic stuff in there that I'm like, I pat on it. I'm like, yeah.
Nice. Nice. Cool.
Face, you're too soft. You're too soft.
Bree, good to see you, buddy.
Hey, and this stuff is would have been easier if you brought back spice.
Well, it's good for us. It's good for the neighborhood too.
Yeah. We had a little cookout for the white worm kids. Maybe we can get some of them a little bit something better than those breathing masks my sis keeps pushing on them.
How's the show going?
I don't think we gave them a whole lot of material for last week. Not a lot they could put on the airwaves. Besides
They
maybe
didn't get shots of flying fish.
trying to keep that a little trying to keep that a little bit quiet. I don't know.
We'll have to see if we'll have to see if the Madge droid can edit it just right so that they don't know where it is and we don't get in legal trouble.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a chase with the imps in the middle of it, so
assholes.
yeah.
You asked for some really shinier upscale stuff. What's the job?
I just want to say that Throttle is the one who took it.
And I think at that point, I probably walk out with like soot all up in my face. Clearly, something in the shop not going right. Face, I had to talk to people. This is your fault.
I can't be everywhere at once.
I need you behind the desk so I don't have to talk to people.
What was said? What are we in?
We're remodeling this bike for this granddaughter of the imp leader, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yep.
Well, that's we're getting paid well, right?
We're getting awesomely paid.
Throttle. That's fantastic. Awesomely paid is my favorite kind of paid.
And even better than paid, we're getting advertising, right? We're going to have a whole new clientele this way.
Yeah, and the imp clientele that you're angling at here are Imperials. Are you sure that that is a good idea? I've been thinking about this.
Yeah. Money's money.
Yeah, but do we want the imps to crawl over the shop?
Mm.
Coming by in the nighttime when we do other stuff? I'm not so sure that we want to go into this clientele because then we would have to clean up our act. I'm not against that, but it's kind of a
Instead of
kind of a bit.
granddaughter, is she an imp?
She's a bit of a wild child.
Yeah, but when the chips are down, the imps will look after their own, and they looked after her, so
So
Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Have I heard perhaps of Zimbo before?
Zimbo is definitely popular. She makes a lot of the gossip shows she's done a few outrageous things, but it's all the like, oh gosh, she's just a wild child. But it's very like they're obviously like some things that either aren't shown or there's some things that she doesn't do anymore.
I mean, blackmail is my specialty. Do I either A, know that she does some illegal things, or do I maybe know of Rito's past with her?
Greg, are you cool with?
Oh yeah, I'm fine with Face knowing about Rido's past with Zimbo. That's fine.
Rye,
Yeah.
granddaughter of
Yeah.
we
Listen,
talking about the same person.
Yeah, you put the compressor and the repulsor together there. Face.
She's
Same
trouble.
one. Yeah. I found out that she was writing me the whole time. It's just I, boosted myself out.
She was writing you.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Did you go all puppy eyes on her when you saw her again?
And Armitage is yes, nodding her head by me.
I'll give you a pat. Look, yeah, let's make a nice bike. Let's get the advertising, get the money. But every time you're around her, you do crazy stuff.
But they really can't see my face. They all know I got out of Imperial prison.
Just keep your head about you, kid.
So, Rido, I need that spanner back from the other room. Can you go get it?
The blue handle one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So I think it's after Rido's out of earshot, I'm like, I've been thinking about this. And Armitage, I agree, but I think we can take this to our advantage. We can install like a kill switch and any imp bikes that we make. Or even better, I mean, we've got a master mechanic in Throttle, right? Throttle could basically not install a kill switch. That might be obvious, but something that messes up their steering or their thrust a little bit. So, it messes up their bike a little bit if he's good enough.
I like the way you're thinking. It will eat into our profit. Just so you know, Face, we will have to put on some of our own money to make this bike work really well. So it'll eat into our profit. We can either go for popularity or for profit. That's the choice here.
Popularity is profit, just in the future.
I'm a long-term investment. If we think it's gonna pay off, that's smart.
See? And I'm holding the spanner. I told you Face would side with me. We need to spend a little more money on the bike.
And, part of that money might be that, we need to present it really well and make sure that Zenbo, receives it like it's the present that it is.
It'll be cross-platform. I mean, we'll have our show. She's always gabbing on the net. It could be a lot more jobs. And y'all are saying imp, but she's more impish than imp. I think we might be getting a different sort.
Imp adjacent.
Still, these guys are respectable. The costume shielding are respectable people. Upscale guys. Maybe the kids who have, wait a minute, maybe those kids who want to appear wild, but just to a certain degree, right? Just to get in trouble, but not to we can work with this, friends. I like that. Okay.
Everybody enjoys a little bit of safe trouble.
Yeah.
And if it comes with a price tag that mom and dad can just barely afford, all the better for us.
Yeah, that's I like that. I like taking rich people to the cleaners. They deserve that.
Am I to take this conversation direction as everyone is okay with eating some profit to make Zimbo's? All right. I will ask one of you then, because I have marked 3 checks of profit. Someone else gets to mark to uncheck one of those profit. I want you to feel the very slight pain of losing that profit.
I think our treasurer should do that.
Yeah, treasurer should do it.
All right. Ouch. To the shop. Goodbye check. Ouch.
Oh, all right. But by pouring in some of the profit that you might have enjoyed, you're able to bring this thing to the kind of specs that it may be one of the nicest bikes in all of Coronet City. It is definitely worthy of the granddaughter of a Ducat, the Ducat.
Just a question, do we have this kill switch already installed? Because, I mean, just asking. Brother?
I haven't put anything in, but we haven't given it yet.
I mean, you are doing the last minute things, right? Maybe you want to look at that? Just because as a prototype?
I'm on the fence about it. I'm on the fence. Can you convince me that it's a good idea?
So we're cutting to a scene of just the two of you now. It's late, maybe it's early morning, and Throttle got up to put extra finishing touches. Maybe Arnage, you're up to
I
work
haven't
out
been
or something.
asleep.
Oh, nice.
I know the bike's going away, and it's so beautiful that I've been up like polishing it and tinkering, you know, like turning the space screws so that they're all like perpendicular to the bike.
But they all line up just
Yeah.
perfectly. And we can see that Throttle's hair is askew, and maybe there are bags under her eyes. We could tell that she's been up all night doing
I
more.
have. I do have calf for you, my friend.
I was just
Just
trying
so-
to remember the name for it.
Yeah,
Like I know
So-
it wasn't very different. Oh, thanks.
yeah. Just thinking that it might be advantageous for us because this thing got some serious firepower. And I don't know. I'm a little worried about Rido, to be honest, because he might get into some scrabble with her. And if we have a little something up our sleeves, he's my little brother.
So you think she's gonna use the bike to mow down Rido?
Probably not, but I mean, you know Rido, right? He gets into the
I do know, right?
see where I'm going with this. Just, you know, it doesn't have to be a full kill switch, just something that will cause a bit of engine trouble if you hit the right frequency or something like that.
I feel like if you didn't have me install the repeating blaster, this wouldn't be as big of a deal.
Okay, that's on me. I agree.
It is nice to look at that thing.
Oh, yes.
The asymmetry, and counterbalancing,
yeah.
it was such an interesting problem.
Yeah, but counterbalancing might be easy to throw that off, right? I mean, if anyone can do it, it's you, Frog.
Well, if you're gonna butter me up, then it's gonna happen. We have to make it look like an accident, because if people know that we're building that into our bikes,
Oh,
nobody's
yeah,
gonna come.
absolutely. And it's only for emergencies, of course.
Yeah,
You never know what comes up. I try to plan ahead.
And if I could probably do that. Downs the rest of the calf in one shot. All right. When are we delivering this thing?
Tonight, there's supposed to be some kind of birthday party, and that's when we are going to deliver it.
I know Rook was talking about doing some presentation for it, so she's gonna want to crack at it. So probably got a couple hours. Yeah, I can get this done. Just,
Yeah, I owe you, fellow.
keep a fresh pot of calf going.
I will.
And I like it with cream and a lot of sugar.
I know. That's what this is here. It's it's cream from a blue milk shop, you know? The one you like?
It sounds so disgusting, but yes, she does love it. I'm picturing what color is coffee with blue milk in it.
Dark blue? Maybe?
Like a purple or something?
Yes, purple. Oh, purple coffee. I already want it.
Nice. Well, I definitely want to see. So we've set the time. Century Assault at night. Big birthday bash. It's like the Ducat has rented out Century Assault. It's Century Assault. It's invite only, and all of her closest friends, probably 1,000 of them, will be there. along with you guys delivering the custom swoop bike. So, Face, where is it that you stay? Do you stay near the shop? Are you
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the okay. What's your place like in Labor Valley? Labor Valley, as a reminder, is where there are dozens of interconnected industrial factories that produce everything from raw Dura steel to hyperdrives to thermal detonators. And then a lot of the Labor Valley housing is, I'm kind of imagining it like apartment versions of row houses for railroad workers from back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I went with small so that I can try to make it look like, so I can have nicer stuff more obviously seen. So it's probably just 2 rooms, and I have spent enough money to have it be sleek and shiny inside. But if it were stretched over anything bigger, it would be pretty threadbare.
I like it. And does Face live alone then? Just his place?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. Before we get too far past it, yes, that ended up being a very nice bonding scene. I was waiting for it. I just forgot to bring it, and it's 5 to split. So you guys are talking about the 5 carts that are split between the 2 of you.
I think you should have 3. Throttle because I owe you.
Okay. Works for me.
Cool. So Face, I think I'd like to frame up a scene.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of players, so I may oh wow, someone posted up a picture of a very cool looking purple coffee. A vegan ube latte in a glass. That looks delicious. I would drink the crap out of that. Faux show. Yeah, so I'd like to frame up a scene with Face where it's early. It's like butt crack of dawn. And I think Face is the kind of person that sleeps in a little bit, or is he a morning person? Yeah.
Generally speaking.
You're woken with the sound of some knocking. It's soft but persistent.
Okay. I crawl out of my sleeping area and go over, and I imagine I have some sort of camera to look out. Some little view.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. It's like maybe you've got a wall display type deal, and you see that you the player haven't met Psyker, but I imagine that Face/Kel has seen Psyker, the scrum rat, a member of Lady Proxima's White Worms. He's at the other side of the door, and he's just knocking, and then he'll wait a second, then he'll knock a little bit. Door opens.
What's up, kid?
Comes in, looks around. He's got his big goggles on, and he even has this little. I'm imagining if that's the thing they flip down to give them extra. I'm not sure. Like it's just a weird kind of flap that I think you cover your eyes with. Anyway, he looks around. He says, "Hey, welcome back. I had to deal with all the others. It was terrible."
As I've said before, I can't be everywhere at once, but it's good to see you, kid.
He comes in looking around. You'll head for your ice box and open it up and start looking around for something.
I'll throw him the equivalency of a pop.
Nice. He opens it up, does the
You gotta get the herbs.
I know. He smiles and then drinks that. Then he reaches into he's got a bunch of bags that are all slung around various areas. So he reaches into one of his bags and he pulls out a little disc. This disc is a hollow disc used for communication, and he drops it down. Lady Proxima wants to talk to you.
Oh, okay. I'm sipping on my red Rancor energy drink, but I'll pop the hollow.
You see coalescing the blue image of Lady Proxima, the Grindelid, and
Yes.
see her huge kind of alien head, well, kind of very alien head with all of the various bangles and the like that she droops over it in a regal fashion or style. Kel, it's about time that you came back.
It is very good to see you, my lady.
Working with Throttle is not exactly what I call pleasant.
She's very capable.
Yes, I will agree with you. Returned Rebo to me, although he's so rebellious. I put ideas in his head. Face. I put ideas in his head. He's talking back. I can't have that.
I'm sure given a little time, he will fall back in line.
Oh, he will. He certainly will.
Poor kid.
What do I owe this pleasure?
Am I to understand that you have completed work on a custom order for the Ducat himself?
Yeah, a gift for the granddaughter, yeah.
And that is going to be presented tonight. Is that right?
That's my understanding. As I
Which means you have entry into the sensory assault?
Yes, I think that's going to be the case.
Oh, that's extremely valuable. That honor bestowed upon you could fetch a very nice price.
What do you have in mind?
Oh, Kel. Why don't you let one of my white worms tag along?
What sort of trouble will they be getting up to?
Oh, nothing for you to concern yourself with. You have a swoop bike show to deal with. Just say it's a worker, or just make sure he gets in. There's a deal. There's a deal that I'm trying to complete, and if I can talk to the right people through proxy, it will be very useful for me.
So this is just a conversation to be had.
The place is going to be crawling with the boys in white. You don't think I would start any thing there? I'm not that stupid. I'm not the Black Half.
Of course, I would never say that you were stupid in any sense, but
that's why I like you, Kel. Not just because you're attractive and smart and very charismatic, but also because you know which side of the toast is buttered on.
if they get caught, though, that's going to put the whole circle in big trouble.
I don't disagree. So you should probably make sure they don't get caught.
I'll have to run it up by Rook.
I suppose you'll need something in exchange.
Oh, of course I will need something in exchange.
Which is more interesting to you, Kel? Do you want, I don't know, some more sponsorships and viewers for your show? Or cold hard credits? Or some information about Queen Savath?
Oh, information is always so much more valuable than anything else.
Another reason I like you. You sure you don't need to run that by, Rook?
I don't think so. I think maybe going with what the payment is will be sufficient, but I can't say for sure he'll go for it. I'm sorry, she'll go for it.
I'll leave it to you. You're so convincing when you want to be.
I think I could probably get her to agree.
I've got someone on the inside with black heth, someone who owes me. I can count on them, and I'm willing to let them work with you for whatever you need. I don't mind burning black heth. They've worn out my patience.
That's
Oh.
good to hear.
Beneficial for you, beneficial for all of us.
All is in harmony, my lady.
Indeed. It's good to have you back.
Thank you for the welcome.
Don't disappear on us again.
And I'll, yeah.
And then, of course, Psyker burps.
Thanks, kid. Here, one for the road. I'll toss him one and shoo him out.
Okay. That sounds great. Cool. Thank you for that little pocket scene. Maybe we follow with Frim Fram and Kel coming on, or Face coming into the shop. This will be our establishing shot for the show. What is it? And don't forget, now we have duties that you can look upon. What is it that Rook is doing at the outset of our show, the beginning, with the official arrival in the show of Face coming back after getting supplies?
So I think she's going back through the supplies that we have and organizing them, and we see, because we want to see this on screen, right? We see her taking, this piece and saying, okay, and setting it, this goes, this engine mount goes over here. And then we see, oh, this is a good power cell, and it slips into the pocket. And then here's the next one, and it goes over here on this shelf, and, organizing things. But, keen-eyed viewers are like, she's slipping a little bit extra into her pocket. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And of course, Major, or Majo 3, loves the side plot of, oh, will she ever get caught 5-finger discounting some of your own stock? In fact, it's in the last time on of Broken Circle. I think the show's just called The Broken Circle. Cool. What about Rido?
With the reveal and this like romantic subplot that Madge has worked into the show despite all of our best efforts to try and keep it hush hush, Madge has like told Rido that he's got to clean the bikes but do it sexy. So he's out in the parking lot cleaning all the bikes for the big to do, and it's just not working. It's not coming across well. Rido's really bad at cleaning the bikes, and it's just not selling that Rido has the sex appeal thing going on. So
what is that expression? You look like you need to use the bathroom.
you told me I'm oh man.
No, I said make it look like you're putting forth effort. That's tensing muscles, not doing that thing with your face.
I'm thinking. I'm too in my head right now.
You are bad at thinking.
All right, we'll take it again.
Fram, delete that. And 3, 2, 1, be sexy.
Cool. So, and Rido is out front washing down your Swoop bikes for the big party. What is it that we see Rook is up to?
I think can I jump in?
Oh yeah, jump
Rido's
in
as well. I think to make things super awkward, Throttle will come out and help Rido be sexier. It's like, okay, roll up your sleeves. We got to see your forearms. I don't know how you don't get that. The forearms are super set. Come on.
Okay.
And no, you're trying too hard. You just have to here, with your hips in like this, and like Throttle's just kind of like manhandling him around. Come on. How has anyone ever found you attractive if you've been doing this?
A lot about this, Throttle.
And I think they are like, and at one point they realize maybe like they're awkwardly close.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
Throttle has her hands kind of all over, just kind of like, and you just, and then you kind of keep going that way. You kind of get buddy, and she gives him a punch in the shoulder.
Ow! Ow!
And unsexy again. All right.
That hurt.
You can cut out the crying, right? Yeah, okay.
I have notes. Not bad though, Throttle.
Well, you can't just use Throttle stuff. No, oh, come on.
It sells.
Cut and print.
Cool. So we move on. I believe we saw in the chat that Armitage is trying not to laugh at her brother when Face comes in to the show. I guess, Face, are you hoping to talk to Rook about the offer? Anybody else
Yeah.
you're bringing in?
Yeah, I probably. Yeah, I'm probably going to come through, make a few, passes just to talk to say hey to everyone, look over the bikes, but go and find Rook. And while it probably would be wise to bring Armitage in, it might be that I want to catch Rook first and then suggest bringing Armitage in so I can break the news before we have to have Armitage come in and tell us how bad an idea it is.
So I think as you come to me with that plan, I'm like, well, Armitage, if you want to bring Armitage in, we have to be very careful about this. I think just for her benefit, we need to make sure how it benefits us, and we need to show how it benefits us. And maybe a good way to do that is to use this as a way to keep eyes on Lady Proxima and the other, anyone that she might have us take in with us. So maybe if we can figure out a way to make, without them knowing, them a spy for us, Armitage might buy into that. What do you think?
Seems like a pretty good idea. Yeah.
I think some of those parts you brought in, I think we could turn one of those into a tracker and slip it on, your new guest. And then if we put Armitage in charge of tracking them, then she will know, hey, this is what's going on, and you've made Lady Proxima happy. Lady Proxima doesn't have to know about it. Maybe Armitage is happy. We can get this going all the way around.
That's not a bad idea. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I would have, said what our kind of payment was. So we are getting, Rich, remind me, the information, we're getting somebody who's placed in Black Cat, right? I mean,
Yes.
that's our, so we'll also have us a mole in those pieces of Sith.
Secrets within secrets within secrets. It's great.
I'm very glad that you see it that way. I mean, it's just, I don't think making Proxima bad would have been a good idea.
Well, we still might make her mad. It depends on how good her friend that comes along with you is, but we'll see.
Well, let's run it up the pole. Let's see if Armitage salutes.
If anyone can get Armitage to agree, I think it's you.
So I kind of like to
So we'll
frame this around food. Like, the idea of you guys eating a meal while you throw out this idea. And anyone who wants to be eavesdropping is welcome. And at the end, I think I will leave it to Throttle as to whether this was filmed or not filmed.
So
Is
we're
this
much
outside? Do you think that there's like an area in the garage where you guys eat? Where is it that you approach face to have this conversation?
I think we probably have a place to eat inside.
Makes sense. I like
close to where the food is, to the food preparation is. And kind of the casual bit of enjoying and conversing a little beforehand before go ahead.
I think Armitage actually loves to cook. Right?
Oh, cool.
So she's in probably the kitchen with the cooking droid and telling it where to go and reaching over and grabbing stuff and making some, I don't know, pork schnitzel or something.
This is unbelievable, Armitage. I have missed this so much. You wouldn't believe the crap I've had in the hover stops that I've been on the road with.
Yeah, I made some of your favorite whatever dip for the things here. Oh, and we have some fish from Dodo. That didn't make it through the last shootout.
Nice fresh fish.
Mm-hmm.
This is makes me feel like I'm back home. It's been strange. I've had welcomes from odd sources. Even Lady Proxima sent me a message to welcome me back.
Okay, what did she want?
You know her well.
She doesn't reach out if she doesn't want something.
She offered up a deal. Rook and I have kind of chatted about it. Kind of want to see what you think of it. In this presentation we're going to do, she'd like for us to maybe sneak in one of her worms. Got a meeting with someone, wants it real low key, real quiet. I said we'd discuss it. She offered up a pretty tantalizing little bit of information. Mole and the Black Cat.
Okay.
And then Rook had this pretty brilliant idea. It's she's going to meet somebody on the lowdown. Well, knowing who that person might be wouldn't be such a bad thing either.
And eavesdropping on that conversation could be could be advantageous. But this could blow up in our face big time, you know that.
It's true. That's why I was saying, I don't know. I mean, could be that we don't have that this just isn't worth it. I mean, sure, it could pay off big, but we got to be conservative here. We're becoming a business. We're not really, getting on the edgy stuff, putting ourselves in danger. We don't want to be doing that all the time.
Look, I think we need to take out the Black Half eventually. We've taken some steps while you were away. You realize we have these Kubas brothers who told us stuff. And having more information and having a mole who could work to our advantage, that might actually hasten the Black Half's demise.
Are you sure?
On the other hand, we already have information about the Black Half. Maybe you can make Proxima sweeten the deal.
Yeah. Maybe a little cash on the side?
Cash on the side or a favor owed. I like
Huh.
people owing me favors.
Well, Brooke, if Armitage is in, I guess I have to say I'm in.
I bring the big guns. I mean,
Rhino walks in as Armitage says, I bring the big guns. No guns. No guns tonight. No, oh my goodness, no.
I know who you realize you are talking to me, right? What are you saying with this no guns noise? You nonsense.
We're just there to give the bike away.
I think so. Rook has been slurping up like some noodles and stuff like that, and kind of looks up and is like, "They'd expect us to have guns, right? I mean, otherwise, everybody who watches the show knows that we've got guns."
Wait, we're all supposed to. I thought we were doing guns. Oh,
Neither are guns on the bike even.
Well, it's
Madge
part
has
of
me
the
all
image.
messed up.
I know you can leave your guns behind.
You don't leave your guns behind, Rido. No, you're not doing that. You are taking your guns. Nobody's seen my little brother on the screen without his guns. I know you were a stormtrooper and don't know how to shoot, but still, take the guns.
No, I've got to go clean the guns too.
No, I've cleaned all the guns.
Oh, cool. All right.
Nobody's trusting you to clean something and we need to work.
Didn't want to phrase it like that.
Then I'll let Proxima know that reluctantly that we'll agree.
Nice.
I may
Good.
now if we're taking in your person, we need to, cover a few small expenses of getting them, dressed appropriately for the show and all of that. Maybe a little cred or two here might sweeten the pot just a touch. Or heck, we could cover that expense somewhere down the road. You can help us out with something.
Ooh. I think she feels like you guys have already worked out a deal and you're going for a second helping. So I'd like to see this come to a roll.
Okay.
I think it's hard because she's got a certain amount of pride.
Am I at this one card?
You know what? Go ahead and roll a d6. And we'll do it as if you're brand new, just starting out because it's been some time. So 1d6 add 3, and that'll be your starting card.
Okie dokie.
Can I
6.
negotiate a little leverage here for Face?
Ooh, how would you like to negotiate some leverage?
We've been doing a lot of charity work for the White Worms. We've been taking care of all those children that Proxima isn't doing a good enough job giving them breath masks, making them food, giving them soda pop. I just think that might be a little bit of on the blackmail. I don't know. And it doesn't exactly sound like blackmail, but that we might let it out that Proxima isn't exactly taking care of her people like she says it has the reputation for.
That has some possible legs. Yeah, I'm cool with you sharing that information. And if you want to use that as justification for bringing your blackmail in, we've kind of been taking care of your kids.
Let's see. So just to get me back refreshed, this would be cool.
Totally.
Okay. And this would be Jaw.
Yes.
So that's 6 die. Is that correct?
Cool
3
and
and a
Jaw
3.
for you is 6 dice at the start. If you go with Rido's suggestion to bring in your expertise of blackmail, that gets you another die. So you'd be at 7. Difficulty for this is hard. For 3, you need 4, 5s, or 6s. I don't think tension's involved in the roll. She could just walk away at this point.
I need 3 successes.
Yeah.
Blackmail's such a dirty word. I don't think I'm going to say we're going to let stuff out. I will remind her of how we've been helping out with them, but I don't think I'm going to like full on say that we're going to out her as being a bad mother. I know how that would hit her poorly. She's already complained about how we're turning her children against her.
Yeah, that's probably wise. Yeah, probably wise. We'll just go probably wise. Cool. Then you're rolling straight up 6. You can spend any amount of your own carks that you'd like to give yourself extra dice. And then if you ask for, or if other people offer up help, they can spend one of their own carks to give you a die.
I will spend one of mine. I don't know if I don't know if anybody else wishes to give in some.
I would. I mean, I've been around these kids, so I know some words you can use to convince her that we like her kids and we're on the level with her.
Okay, cool.
Right? Some anecdotes that you can throw in, and I'm giving a card.
That plays real well with the idea. We've been doing a lot with the word. We've been helping out the kids, sort of thing. So that plays good to that. Okay. So that takes me up to 8 die. All right. Roll. That was insanely bad.
Be thankful that tension was not involved in that abysmal roll. Wow. She says, I see. So you're saying, Face, that you weren't able to convince the others unless you get a few extra credits on the side. I overestimated your charismatic abilities. That's what you're saying right now.
I'll say there were some doubts, my lady. It's a big deal for them. I was just hoping to bring a little sign of how close our friendship was.
You have a couple of choices, Face. You could throw in some of your own credits and say it's from me. You can tell them that I'm a hard ass who said we have a deal. Take it or leave it.
Well, nothing gives greater respect than a lady who sticks to her guns. I'll make sure that they understand you're not someone to be screwed with.
Indeed. The image of her hollow disappears.
Ouch. I'll come back with the well, that didn't go as well as I would have hoped. I feels like she's wanting to stick to what she said, and honestly, I still think it's it's good an idea as we're gonna get, but if we're up for it. I'll give Brooke a look.
I don't think we can go back. I think we should still take this because I don't think we would be able to fight off the white worm and the black hat at the same time. And if we're gunning for the black hat, we need the white worm to be on our side.
I certainly don't want to make enemies on two fronts.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. We good with that scene? All right, let's take our mid-game bio break. Opening shot from Frim Fram is all of the lights, the spotlights shining out into the Coronet City sky as all of you are arriving at Sensory Assault. So each of you take a moment to think about, what is your character wearing? Yes, I'm going there. And are you, we'll say the road captain gets to make a decision. Does the crew show up riding together like a gang, or do you show up with some large vehicle that's carrying the custom swoop bike? Road captain, what do you think about how you guys are arriving?
I think we absolutely have to arrive like on our swoop bikes, and I think a couple of them are kind of towing the gift, the custom swoop bike that we built behind it. And we all kind of come off, and we want to make this a show. And I think with Maj's direction, we kind of have to pull the red carpet stuff, right? So we pull up, and each of us pull up individually to our swoop bikes, and then we have to walk down this aisle of, dignitaries or, press who are going to be taking pictures and asking questions and stuff like that.
Nice little red carpet action where you have to like step out, maybe turn around. There'll be questions shouted at you. This I'm into. I love it. So I think the first person who arrives is probably Throttle. And how does Throttle appear for this VIP affair?
So I think nobody told her anything except dress nice, which allows probably too much room for interpretation for her. But she has cleaned up. I think there's no grease stains or anything. And she's gotten herself, I would say, it looks like maybe a secondhand prom dress kind of thing. Like it's very puffy and like kind of jets out, and like maybe also like a little bit like Gone with the Windy kind of thing. Like and her hair is like kind of done up, but sort of also falling out, and like she's clearly scrubbed her face so hard that it's like kind of rosy cheeked. Oh gosh, and she's wearing heels. Why not? Star Wars heels. So there's like, rides up on the bike, obviously an incredible biker, and then gets off, and it's kind of like little mincing steps, and like, you can do this, Anex, you can do this.
Nice. Questions are shouted at you, such as, who are you wearing?
No, the question is, what am I wearing? What?
No, who?
Using pronouns.
The designer who made it.
I'm Throttle. Your question doesn't make any sense.
Nice. That's great. You're like, okay, next.
Just keep going on.
And then I think next will be our beefcake for the show, Rido.
Yeah, Rido pulls up in his swoop bike, which is at like the bottom of the character cube. It's got like the sliding doors. And he has cleaned it within an inch of its life. And he gets out, and he's got, because this is Star Wars and this is how you dress up in Star Wars, a cape.
Dope.
He has like a little black shoulder cape. It's like a very dark satin, and he's actually like cleaned up and is looking halfway decent for once. And then
Thanks, Armitage. I mean, sorry,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Finally, I think Madge was like, we've got to get somebody. And so yeah, he's just, he's like, oh yeah. And he's like looking around and immediately thinks that like Zinbo is going to be there on the red carpet. But of course she's going to arrive last. Like, that's what the star does. So he's just like gets out and like stands there awkwardly for a moment, like just looking around when he's supposed to be going into the party.
And then one of the questions yelled by one of the reporters as they are taking pictures of you is it true that you have a past with Zimbo? A dark past?
Like there's a flashback to Madge at one point saying, no comment. No comment. No comment. No, thank you.
Oh, you move on, huh? You move on. I think they're saving Armitage, the movie star, for the last. I think Rook is next to arrive. How
Yeah,
is
so I
Rook?
think Rook pulls up and has a nice like half jacket on, and I think she actually has, she has obvious weapons like like a not the bandolier, but like a shoulder rig, right? And she comes out looking like security. And I actually think, if you don't mind, I think she comes out at the same time that Rido does. So she's like walking the edge
Mhm.
as Rido's walking up, and they, start accosting. She doesn't pay much attention to that. But I think she eyes one of the black calf like in that row. If you don't mind, let's say it's Eliason,
Oh,
the
cool.
gambler guy,
Yes, he would
and I'm going to
definitely
jump
be
him.
here.
I'm going to jump him in this line, like, that guy shouldn't be allowed in.
Rook.
By
By the wheels, Rook.
He is definitely going to let you throw that first punch, thinking that you will get kicked out of this whole shindig.
Yeah, and I'm so this is the take that I'm going to go on it. Number one, I want to put down some Duracrete justice, right? Number two, I think it'd be a good show for Fran, right?
That's true.
You got to get a little bit of fight at the party on, right at the very beginning. And number three, if it works out well, maybe that, I get hauled off and put in the clink or something like that. And that's my backdoor in. So let's see how that
Backdoor
rolls.
into what?
Oh, into the party. Basically, I'm not, doing the socializing stuff, but like I'm coming up from the security.
I see. Okay, well then, regaining Karks, you are handing out street justice, or Duracrete justice is badass plus heart.
Badass plus heart. So that's 2.
Are you specifically trying to get caught and thrown into the back? Like, is that your objective? Is that what success looks like?
I think so.
Okay, then that way Rido is going. I'll throw a Kark your way for sure. Of Rido just being like, I even know who that is. Somebody take her away.
Okay. And what difficulty is this?
I think that we're going to call the difficulty it's not that. I don't imagine it being impossible. You're just trying to get arrested. We'll call it normal.
Normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's normal to get arrested when you cause a fight in a public way.
Yeah. So I'm going to roll that. I think that's 46. Let's see what that looks like.
Tension not involved in the roll.
Okay. So that's 2.
Nice.
What is normal?
You succeed. Normal is 2.
Okay.
So you roll a d6, you regain that many Karks, and you are arrested by the boys in white as some troopers are called up. They detain you, put binders on you, and they're gonna what is that? Frog march you out of here.
Yeah. So can I make a roll about, can I smuggle things in place so that I can come out from the clink at the appropriate time during the party? Like find the cameras or whatever is needed at that point.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay. We'll just set that up.
Yeah, we'll just set that up.
So that's probably head, right?
That makes sense.
And smuggling. And you think that's cool?
I think it's
badass.
Cool. I think it's cool.
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll toss in a couple of those new carts. 6, 7, 8. And how difficult do you think that is?
And it's trying to sneak a bunch of stuff in that the troopers don't notice. So they're really derelict at their duty, or you're really, really slick. So I think that's going to be hard. It's hard to do.
I think more along the lines of I want a narrative method, not to sneak in a bunch of weapons or anything like that, but I want a narrative means to say, this is where I pop the cell and look at the security cameras, and I can pop out at the right place, or tell Throttle this is going to be a problem, or something like that. Just kind of go from the, protecting from the back wings. If that makes any
Cool.
sense.
Okay.
Okay. And you think that's hard?
I think it's hard. I
Yeah,
mean,
perfect.
my troopers, they're stormtroopers. They need to have at least a little challenge to them.
Okay. So let's roll that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got exactly 4.
Oof, luckily tension was not involved in that roll, although maybe it could have been, but that's fine. I didn't determine it. So you are successful. You've got it. You're the ace in the hole, as it were.
Yeah. I just want to set that prep up so whenever someone gets in a tight spot, they can call out for my help. Sounds good.
And you, because I like to have folks involved in scenes, and this is a little heisty, you're on comms with them. You're just kind of walking around in the brig area. They haven't taken you off to the station. They have maybe a holding area. Ooh, yeah, like one of those big like transport things. They just put you in the back there.
Okay.
And maybe they think it's a holding tank, and other drunkards or something might show up there from time to time. Next is Face, and Face, you've got the Lady Proxima's plant. His name used to be Psych, but then Psyker called himself Psyker because he's very much the like annoying little brother thing. So now he's called True Psych, but you could just call him Psych. But there's a picture of him on row 22 of our NPCs. He is not dressed that way, of course, because you guys are at a really nice, bright, shiny party. He is dressed in a nice suit, like, Star Wars suit type deal.
Okay.
Coat, long tails, I think, because Star Wars, it's not quite a cape. He's not able to show up righto with his awesome cape, but he looks
And I think I've got him with the gift. He's the one hauling the big plasteel box, and with the gift to bring it in. That'll give him a job to do.
perfect.
And so he's the one that's kind of bringing it along with its little hollow pad or whatever.
And
Little
he's pretty
hover pad.
professional. Like, there's no complaints. He asks a few questions about how to handle it to make sure that he's got it solid. You can tell this guy's done this kind of work before.
Yeah, stick close to me till we get inside.
Yeah.
Keep yourself low key. If we're extraction, then find us early.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
I come up, my back is chrome and black, but it also has like purple is light streaks down it. And so I'm wearing what everyone would think of as biker leathers. I'm trying to play the part, but they are just as shiny as could be, very stylish, offsets my fine figure as well. And they have purple light threads through them as well. As I get off my bike, I've got the kind of helmet cover thing to it, but as I pull it back, it actually folds back into at my shoulder, back into the leathers.
Nice. And when you come onto the scene, Face, a number of the reporters were interviewing Alancian, who was playing up the victim of like, I just came here to a special invitation. I don't know what happened there. It's such a hooligan. But then they see you and your slick leathers and your style and panache, and they all abandon the Elasan trying to play up his victimhood. And they all come around. Who are you wearing? Who are you wearing?
You wouldn't have heard of them if you'd have been able to recognize it. The important thing is the Broken Circle has this magnificent gift that is going to be presented tonight, because we create the most beautiful, the most spectacular, wondrous street vehicles in all of Corellia. And everybody out there, if you want to try and come close to the glamour you're going to see tonight, you need to find the circle, baby. And I'm really making a lot of push on looking at the box, so guy pulling the box doesn't get noticed much.
Nice, nice. What is more important for you in this declarative statement? To give cover to True Psych to get in without anybody noticing, or are you trying to amp up the popularity of the Broken Circle gang? You've got a great platform. This is the event of the season.
Oh, such a hard choice.
Thank you.
I think I'm more worried about the trouble we could get into. I'm trying to make sure he's got cover to get out, to do his thing.
Okay. I'm not sure that needs a roll. If you're cool with that, I think you just do that thing.
Considering how I rolled, I'm very happy for it not to be.
And so you come in, you make your statement about if you don't know, then you never know, that kind of stuff. That's pretty good. That gets a few chuckles from some of the more savvy photojournalists and paparazzi. And you make great cover for True Psych to carry in the box that is your wonderful Swoop bike. And then the star, the newest star of the Swoop bike show, Armitage, arrives. How is Armitage dressed?
Well, I think she is wearing something that she took off from Double Payback, because it's the thing that she wore on the Obsidian Clone cameo. It's a kind of almost armor, right? Like with pauldrons. It's not really armor because it just has pauldrons and the thing that you wear on your I don't know, thighs probably. So it's it's pretty low cut and pretty, and you can see her stomach, and of course you can see the arms, right? Because that's what she is. She's wearing not really sunglasses, but sort of a wraparound visor, so you can't see the eyes like a star does. And has her hair. Well, does she wear her hair? She wears it tied back with a few braids in. So yeah, that it will stay out of her face if there's trouble. You never know, right? And but she's learned how to move at these presentations. She's been told often enough not to say a lot, but just stare at anyone who asks uncomfortable questions until they go away. And and also she has a really big gun, because she's Armitage. She needs to have a really big gun. And she kind of treats it almost as if this was just a prop. It's not.
It's not. As you are asked to turn around, there are people oohing and awing over the costume. And then a reporter shouts from the little crowd in the press area behind ropes. One of them says, let's see, I think they would not. They would say, Ava Veer, hey, what's your reaction to the rumor that the Armitage is being recast for Triple Payback?
I'll turn over and say, I think the flick is called Quadruple Payback. Triple Payback is a ripoff. So I think I'm not worried.
Oh man, just throwing some shade at that rumor and saying you're not worried. That sounds great. Awesome. And you see ahead of you that Face is giving cover to True Psych, and soon you guys, because you're delivering, like you arrive, right? But eventually True Psych and whoever wants to go off to make the delivery of the present will be coming through a different entrance than the main entrance. So who wants to go with True Psych to?
I'd like to stick close to him.
Okay.
I want to stick close to the bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're not. I'm here to mingle.
That's right. I think you get a direction from Madge. He's in your ear, telling you guys that someone has to go in the fancy entrance. That's where the camera's going. So Fram will.
That's for Face to do, right? Fancy cameras, kind of a Face thing.
Cool. So then Face and Rido will be heading in the main entrance. We have Rook, who's been set down in the back of a transport vehicle, and Throttle, along with Armitage, are carrying in the big present. So we'll stick with Throttle and Armitage. The two of you don't have to do much. I imagine that True Psych is in his guise as your roadie. He's pushing the crates that carry this big box, and they're hover pad type deal. I'm kind of imagining it, if you remember in Empire Strikes Back, the way that they were pushing along Han Solo in carbonite. You know, it's just like one person has a pair of handles and it's kind of skimming along, and it's this big, very obvious like swoop bike package that's in a giant box, so they can't see what it looks like. But you know, it's one of those presents that you're like, I think that is a definitely an X-shaped box. So not that there should be a surprise, because what else are you guys going to do, honestly? You go inside, the music is bumping, it permeates through the walls. You're in a dark, more industrial part of this club / restaurant. There are a lot of people who are in grimy work clothes, so maybe you feel a little bit more at home, Throttle. But True Psych will follow. You know, there's a couple of non stormtroopers, but you can tell that they're Imperials who direct folks, and they do run a scanner over the box. There are no active weapons in the box, are there?
I mean, there's a giant repeating blaster that's part of the bike.
I think they will actually ask to open up the bike. So we have an Imperial. They're dressed. There's some kind of Imperial officer. They are not a stormtrooper. Stormtroopers aren't in this particular room because they're stormtroopers. Why would they want them around a bunch of presents? But this person, if you don't mind, I would like to please examine what's inside.
If you get your greasy handprints on it, you're going to answer to Dictac Dupastomi yourself.
Ooh, that's a big threat. Are you going to let him open it up and look inside?
Yeah, just remember, you look with your eyes.
Of course. What else will I look at? Photoreceptors? And then he looks to True Psych. If you don't mind, and True Psych will get out a little. Maybe he doesn't need it, but he's got a little Jimmy bar, right? And he pries it open, and the guy comes forward, and he could easily like brain this guy and do whatever you want. But I imagine you're just going to let him take a look, check in with, see, it was Armitage. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. We're here to deliver the bike, not brain stormtroopers or Imperials.
All right. He takes a look in. He notices the weapon, and then he'll check to make sure that it's not active. And it is not, I assume, but easily could be activated. It's all right. This is good. And if you could just carry it over here, and there's this huge like stack of things that are near this runway belt where they're going to like bring presents out for big presents. And he says, yes, put it on, yes, on the track there, because that's one of the star presents. You can see that there's also smaller presents that are put in a different area to be opened later, although you have a feeling that she's probably not going to personally open those, that someone else will, and write thank you notes and all that good stuff. And the Imperial says, all right, thank you, you may go. And True Psych just ducks his head. He's gonna skulk off and head off to wherever he's wanting to go. What do you do?
I'm trailing him.
All right.
Just, seeing where he's going. Can we bring one of our drones in here? One of those?
Sure. If you those things are small, right, Stephen?
Mhm. Yeah.
If I remember correctly. then-
They're relatively small, but I mean,
Mhm.
we also have cameras. We're part of a show, right?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but the smaller drone might not be noticed by this guy. So maybe set one of them up to, because I might get shouted up by someone. I will try to remain on this trail, but you never know.
Oh, you're
Did
going to
we-
get chatted up.
Did
He's a
we
movie
try
star.
to put a trace on him?
Did we?
I mean, there'd been the mention, but
Yeah.
I thought
I
you
see.
guys were the trace.
okay, that's fine too.
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing this little droid thingy to trace him.
So you've been told that everything's good with the swoop bike there, Throttle, and you know that at least one member of Black Hef is here. What do you do?
What are you implying?
I'm not implying anything. I'm just asking questions and providing information.
Well, now I feel like I need to guard the bike.
What? That seems like a boring thing to do. Why would you want to do such a boring thing?
Well, I don't. So that's why, in addition to guarding the bike, I can multitask. I'm gonna head over to the bar, get a mug of Arby's if they have it, Creechy if
nice.
not. It's a pretty well stocked bar, I would think, and kind of lean one elbow on the bar and kind of looking in the direction of where the bike is.
Nice. I imagine that just because it's more interesting to have you interact with stuff, maybe it's one of those where it's like off screen, but imagine you're at a theater, right, watching a play, and you can see the curtain, and you're at that certain point where you can look behind the curtain and see actors standing just slightly off stage, and you can see them, in character but standing still before their entrance. That's what you see with your eyes on the stuff in the back. Does that seem cool? Work for you? All
Yep,
right.
that works.
That way you can interact and still keep an eye on things. If you can see the audience, they can see you. Indeed, that is information that has been shared with me in the past. Cool. Good. That means that Armitage is following True Psych. Throttle's keeping an eye on the bike. Rook is arrested. Face and Rido are in it. So Rido, Face, the two of you have a very short wait. There are basically VIP entrants, and you guys are on the VIP list, you're told. There's a stormtrooper that move along, directs you to a much shorter list or a shorter line. You see there's other folks who are popular enough to be invited. They're of the 1,000 throng, but they are not VIPs like you guys. And I'm curious, Face, what's the kind of person who is in line just ahead of you guys that starts chatting you up?
What sort of person is it?
Yeah. Giving you just a little carte blanche. It's something you'd like to throw in here.
Yeah, I think that considering, because this is a young person's party, I think we're seeing kind of that social climber, media savvy sort of young person who maybe, isn't well known themselves, but is very on the periphery of other famous people.
Ooh, so it's like the name dropper kind of person?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. They've got their own little cam droid, and they recognize the two of you. So I'll ask Armitage, this up-and-comer wannabe influencer, what species are they?
I think they're not Kashiri, the purple ones with the emotion pheromone things. Something with a Z.
The pheromone, like the Zeltron?
Yeah. Zeltron, yes. She's a Zeltron.
Ooh, Zeltron. She's a
Mhm.
Zeltron? Oh, that's
Mhm.
great. Yes, a HoloNET influencer, a Zeltron, who is not our Star Wars Saturdays famous Zeltron, but a wholly new Star Wars Zeltron. Oh man, I've got some real cool Star Wars Zeltron picks that I'll throw one into the character keeper at some point. Let me look at our names of species helper and name this person. Ooh, I do like, I immediately, it's a human name, but I love the alliterativeness of Krinakara. What do you think? Sweet. So Krinakara, the up and coming influencer, is in line with Rido and Face. As you guys, just a brief pause, like people are moving in clusters, and you can hear the music bumping. It's this kind of leap hop, which is getting a bit more popular. It shifts off, and you hear some song like more heavy metal dance thrash stuff. And you hear the multi-throated Ithorian stylings of a punk band that Zinbo loves. And Krinakara looks at the two of you and she goes, oh, I can't believe it. I'm in line with, the Campbot like zips around and does a little like, this is focusing in on the, I'm in line with none other than Face and Rido of the Broken Circle. You guys, I'm your biggest fan.
Well, that's nice to hear.
So give me a little inside scoop. Me and thousands of viewers at home who are here watching this party live on the HoloNET. What's something that is going to wow Zinbo about that swoop bike? We all know it's a swoop bike. That's okay. That's okay. The surprise is what it does. So what's one of the features that you put in, Rido? Since that is your Zinbo, you know, your lady love, right? Right? That's what they've been saying on the recent episodes.
No comment. No comment. You know, we really like to leave the surprises for, you know, the big surprise. As my mom used to say, you gotta hold on to your Corellian air cake. Can't have your Corellian air cake and eat it too.
Oh, that's great. Is your mom around? I've never heard you mention her on the show.
You know, Armitage and I don't talk to mom much anymore.
Is she on Corellia? You're a local, right?
No comment.
And I think Krinakara will like slide up to you, Kel, and she says, "Oh, I love your shoulders." And she like puts a hand on your shoulder, and she's trying to buddy up, like maybe she's gonna follow you around for a little bit. What do you do about that?
Thanks. That's I'm very proud of them too. I have to say, you should tell your fans when they see the unveiling that while not everybody can have exactly what they see, everyone can get exactly what they want from the Broken Circle.
He's so good at this. He's so good at this. Man, she is into that. And you know, being a Zeltron, she does like innuendo. So she giggles playfully, and then you guys spill into the club. All kinds of neon colors. Looks not unlike Tyler's background, with all the bright pinks and purples. And floating in one of those, I'm imagining the prequels, the Senate things, you know, those little floating deals, right? Floating in that is none other than the Ducat himself, Ducat Dupas, Tomri, and his daughter and granddaughter, Zinbo Yu, the belle of the ball, the birthday girl. And there's a moment, Rido. There's a moment when you first come in, when you two lock eyes, and she sees you. Surely she's looking right at you. You could just feel it. She's dressed splendidly. A little bit of punk, just a little bit of that leather, not unlike your styling's Face, but like carefully sliced, just to show a little bit of skin underneath, to show that she's not the perfectly coiffed imperial like her grandfather, that she's a rebel. She's a wild child, a carefully arranged to show wild child side of Zimbo Yu Tomri. We cut to Armitage as exactly this
No,
new drinking game. When you say
I think also like, so we lock eyes, but then if I'm remembering correctly, Throttle is watching the bike, right?
yeah,
So there's just a moment where Throttle is also in the picture, like right below her. I'm like, oh.
ooh, a little doubt, pensiveness. What could this mean? Madge is like, focus in on that, says to Fram.
And I think as she's scanning around, Throttle sees Zimbo and is like checking her out, but then sees you behind and like lock eyes for a second, then like, oh. I wasn't. What?
Is Throttle clueless to the sexual tension here? This is good. This is good stuff. Love it. Armitage. You're keeping an eye on True Psych, who's done his I'm a side guy doing your work, and now he's headed into the crowd. And you see that he's making his way to one of the bars that's like underneath this overhang piece. So it's like hidden away in a corner of the club. There appears to be someone waiting for him. The person is a Kiana clone.
A what now?
A Kiana clone. So there's a clone type, a female clone type that was one of the later gens. And they're known as the Kiana. Kiana. If you look in the Imperial section, row 17, you'll see what she looks like. A little bit of info. She is a 101. She's a 101, and you, knowing the scuttlebutt, know that she serves Captain Gerond, who is she's Captain Gerond handles criminal organizations. She's basically the Imperial in charge of handling gangs.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It looks like True Psych is heading over to chat with her.
Okay. I'll hopefully I will direct the drone to surreptitiously maybe record what they're talking about, because I can't really probably go over there and listen in because I'm not that subtle.
That's true. You are not built on subtlety.
But I know how to direct a drone.
And I think the challenge here for you is being able to keep focus and stay surreptitious while also being an extremely recognizable celebrity figure. So I think that's where the challenge is, to see if you can get the dope on whatever is going on between True Psych, Proxima's person, and Kiana, who seems to be a proxy for the Imperials. Let's put this to a roll. Yeah, I think there's some stress here. Does that feel right? Maybe a little tension involved in the roll? Cool.
Yeah, sure.
All right. We will set this roll as being hard.
Means I have to make an -3. Okay, I think this is cool, right?
I agree. Cool. Yeah, I was headed that way. I'm so glad you spent some XP on getting cooler.
Yeah. And can I use tools though, because I'm using the drone to do that?
Yes. Okay. I think that's exactly what you're doing. That makes sense to me.
I will also spend, I spent 2 cards on this. Tensions involved. Oh, well.
Tension is involved with a difficulty 3, meaning that you could lose I don't know what that word means. Lose up to 3 cards.
Well, then that's that. Live hard, die fast, or something like that.
Something like that.
Okay, so I've got 7 dice.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yep, I did not succeed. I have a 6 and a 4, and I've got to roll the 1. So I lose 1 card and something goes wrong.
Yeah, we'll cut away from you
Mhm.
as the cam comes in and True Psych sidles up, and the two of them are sharing a drink and chatting. And you can tell that maybe this is the culmination of this is the handshake for something that has been arranged. That there's some kind of handover, but the audio cuts out when you are interrupted. But step away from that to deal with. I'm really, there's a lot of heat here with this Rido throttle Zinbo thing. So maybe looking at where we're at from time for the session, we just kind of skip ahead. There's a montage of things that we put in post-production of you guys doing cool stuff. And it's the presentation of the Swoop bike. So there are like spotlights that come down on Rido and Face. And there's one spotlight that hits throttle, and then that's the moment that Armitage, like, boom, the spotlight hits you right in the face. You're blinded by it. And that's what, there's some feedback, something else going on where you are unable to grab the footage of exactly what's going down between those two as Zinbo, her floating platform comes down. And how is it, Throttle, that the Swoop bike presentation, like, how is it? Is you hit a button and everything opens up, or does someone have to actually pry bar it open like the Imperial did?
Oh, I was thinking remote, but like, no, I'm sticking with remote. So it's like a transmitter, and just a simple push of the button, and I feel like the box kind of opens like this, and then the smoke comes out, and then when it clears, ta-da.
Oh, and Maj has made sure that you have the remote, because of course, who else would have? And also so that the two girls who vie for the love and attention of Rido, according to Maj, face to face. So what do you do?
I hit the button.
You don't even let her hit the button. Oh my God, that's great. So there's a moment where she's like, and you hit the button and it starts to open up, and then it opens up again, and she sees this incredible Swoop bike, and like tears are in her eyes. She's maybe been play acting for some of these presents, but that Swoop bike is truly a thing of phenomenal beauty. And I would like for Armitage to go ahead and go to the Swoop bike shop tab and increase your popularity by 1. As all of the work that you guys have done and the perfect moment of the unveil of this gorgeous Swoop bike. And she hops off of the platform and runs over, and
I'm gonna,
looks at,
as she's coming, I'm gonna elbow Rido and say, "Give her a hand up on the bike, bud."
Oh, right. And so Rido like grabs the key fob, essentially, right? There's gotta be some sort of security device. Like from Throttle's hands, there's a moment where their hands touch.
And I think, like, because I think as she starts to go forward, like, I turn to go, "Hey, we did a great job on it," and you just take the fob.
Grab it and hand it to her. And like, so I give it to her give her to her as she's getting up on the bike, and I whisper in her ear, "If you ever want to take it out together, let me know."
Nice. What are you looking for? Just like a sweet moment, or are you tempting her here?
Ooh. I think on some level, yes, Rido is looking for a sweet moment, but he's also trying to he's also trying to get the bike shop going, right? So like a visible ride with a member of the Broken Circle and her. Like there's a little selfishness to it. Like this could be really good for the bike shop if we're seen together.
That is absolutely true. Then I think there's some tension here, and I'd like to see a roll if you get shot down. And of course, Rook could throw you some help here at some point.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying being cool. Not great at that. I'm guessing this is heart, right?
Oh yeah, connecting with people.
I don't know. I framed it though. I framed it as a selfish thing. So it's jaw.
True. It's jaw.
Okay.
So sorry, you're bad at being selfish.
I'm so bad at being selfish. Number 3. Oh boy. Yeah, I can't bring any of the expertise into this. Conspiracy might be something, but and what's the difficulty? Hard.
I think hard feels right. It's not.
And there's tension.
There is tension. There's some definite tension going on. This all this lead up. I think a failure means that maybe she sees what you're going for, like what your intent is here.
So I'll toss you a Kark, and I think what this is, while you were getting dressed, I made sure that your cape has a good logo for the Broken Circle on it. Right?
Oh, nice.
So there's a little bit of branding there. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. And I'll throw in 2 of my own Karks, which means I am at risk. So that's 3, 5, that's 6. All right.
Nice. Good luck.
Oh no. Well, that's a success, but I am out of Karks.
Oh my goodness. She totally buys into this, not realizing the selfish intent that you have. And I think that's what drains the Karks out of you. Oh. She says, I thought you'd never forgive me. Of course, I'll get on now. And she pulls you onto the ride and she hits a button and it starts to glow and it does all these colors and she giggles and people are, ooh. And then right in front of you, Throttle, which maybe gives you weird feels, she like throws her arms around your neck, Rido, and kisses you, which of course is scandalous. What kind of wild child is she? She would make out.
So if she's throwing her arms around me, then she has to be behind, right? So I'm in front.
Yeah, you're in front.
Then yeah,
or like she turned to you, but she could totally be in front. That sounds fun. I like that.
Yeah, Rido will just hit it like, I don't know what the Star Wars equivalent would be of revving a bike because they don't have but like loud. It makes a loud swoop, like squeal. Yeah.
Nice. And it's a swoop bike, so you can like swoop around in. Wow, there was a big flash of lightning over here. I didn't even know it was storming. Big flash of lightning, and Face, you catch the miss result that I'm about to throw at Armitage. Wow, that was a big clap of thunder. Can you guys hear it?
It sure was.
If you suddenly disappear, we know what happened.
If I disappear, you know where where I went. So I think, yeah, I know. Armitage, you're blinded by the spotlight for a minute. You start to lose the feed. And then when your eyes adjust to everything and the spotlight zips over because they're on a swoop bike zooming around in the club, you see that none other than Captain Senna Gerard standing in front of you. Well, Ava Via.
Yeah.
Glad to see that your arms are functioning well.
Oh yeah, they're really decent. Should I grab you a drink, sir?
I appreciate the offer.
No problem.
Been thinking about your former service for the Empire. How is it that you mustered out again?
I was kind of cut out.
Seemed like an oversight.
Well, I have a new career now. I'm very happy.
Your happiness is not my concern. Do you have a debt to pay?
Do
to
I?
The Empire. Yes. I believe it was during the service that you received those replacement arms after your failure.
No, these are not the arms I received from
Oh, well, I
the
don't
Empire.
know what you recall, but the records that I have claim that the Empire provided you those cybernetics. Are you calling me a liar?
I have maybe my recollection is faulty, but I would like to see these records.
Oh, I can arrange that. Why don't you come out of this party with me now? I have a particular thing that you could do to repay your debt.
I'll shoulder the big gun I'm still trotting around and say, well, let's see what you want then.
And she's going to escort you out of the party.
We're on comms, right? So
Yep, you're on comms.
I'm following.
Cool. And then I'm curious as,
I will ask her if she wants an autograph though, as we're walking.
Nice. She scoffs. She's not even going to dignify that with anything other than her laughter. She doesn't. She's not very witty. She's just mean. I'm curious what, as the two of them are flying around, Throttle, what's your reaction to that?
Are they flying around in the club?
Yeah. Like above people's heads. Just,
Wow. I've always wondered how high swoop bikes can get, because you never see them get that high off the ground.
It's true.
What's the limit of it? What's the physics? Maybe I should ask these questions.
Physics in Star Wars is definitely a thing that we should be concerned about.
I think actually like admiring the bike, like what's her true love? You know,
Nice.
it's watching the bike go, and like since we kicked in that extra money, it is gorgeous. It is probably the most
Probably the
beautiful
best
bike,
build you guys have ever made.
which means of course is the best that I've ever seen,
Exactly.
because what could be better?
What could
I seem to remember something that Face told me, like, because what could be better than a broken circle bike?
branding. Cut and print. Excellent. Excellent. So Face, it looks like you guys have made your delivery. It's definitely well received. You see Rido living it up. What are you doing?
I guess I'm going to try and. I noticed Armitage being led away. Am I aware of that?
You're aware of it. You're aware of it,
Okay.
yeah, because she's got comms and definitely gave you guys a heads up.
Right. And I don't know if this feels like a go to try to extradite them from that situation sort of moment. Would that be appropriate?
Let's check in with Sabine. I could
Yeah, what do you
definitely build
think,
the role if you
Sabine?
want to do it.
I think I think Armitage wouldn't mind being rescued from that kind of situation. On the other hand, she's pretty used to standing her own, and also she's a little bit curious what that Imperial wants her to do.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, to let you find out what's going on.
Mhm.
So I think I'm probably going to check on our package, our guy, and see if he's got his stuff done so we can have him in preparation to get out without trouble.
Absolutely. So you find him. he is sitting alone at that back bar, and he says, "Thank you for the help. Everything I needed to do, I've taken care of."
Everything's handled then.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, make sure to get near the hover pad. We'll take you out the way you came in.
All right. I'm ready to go when you are.
Tell the lady I hope she's happy.
She
with,
will be.
What we've done. I'll grab a drink and slurp it back.
And then he'll tell you that he says, "She's given me leave to tell you that the mole within the Black Heth is Alanason, the gambler."
And I think I'll laugh there at the bar as I make sure that communication is open to Rook, and we just see me laughing away as I sip my drink.
Cool. And yes, True Psych doesn't know exactly what you're talking about, but he's happy to laugh, so he laughs with you. I'm curious, Rido, as we bring this session to a close, we know Throttle and Face will not be with us next week, so let's keep that in mind. We'll carve some space for epilogues for the two of them. But Rido, Zimbo definitely wants to like bring you up onto the platform and party with you and draw you away from the rest of the crew. How do you handle that?
I think like Rido has the fun zipping around, but like at the end of the day, he's like, and like sees like the Imperial, like it's like up, like not exactly a moth, but like a moth bear. He's like, that's not my world. That's not Kark. And it like he like politely declines the invitation up onto the thing, like, oh no, you have more fun without me. It's all right. I gotta get back to the shop. I'll see you I'll see you soon. And goes back to the back alley where they've like staged that Imperial transport.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like part of the plan, right? That like Rook is back there working the angle, but he just like punches the door in and is like, "Screw the Empire, we're busting you out."
Okay. Wild. So
I'm looking to get some Duracrete Justice in here just to keep Rido in play.
Sounds good. So Duracrete Justice, let's have you do that as you're trying to free your buddy. Roll with badass plus heart. Good luck.
Okay, I was going to do badass heart, and then this would be a disturbing of the peace, if I'm not mistaken.
It is certainly that. You can bring that expertise in.
Okay. Oh, I got one success.
You are bad at this. I think it was.
Oh, I didn't
set diff. I didn't set diff. Oh man, I'm sorry, but I would have said that was like normal. So
yeah. So I think Rido is gonna get in trouble here and get pulled out by the Empire.
Yeah, you get arrested after hanging out with a wild child, thrown into the transport with Rook. And I think I'd like to carve out a little space for some kind of epilogue for both Face and Throttle, because you guys won't be able to join us for the final session. So Popcorn It, whoever would like to go first with as we bring this session to a close, with Rido and Rook being hauled off by one set of Imperials and Armitage leaving with another Imperial. What do we see for either of you?
I think that we see Face kind of moving back to the box with our plant that we brought in and getting ready to leave, realizing that we are missing people pretty strongly, and there's the radio to Rook of, I'm moving out with the package. Looks like we've got trouble.
Yeah, I saw Rido come in here.
I'll meet you back at the clubhouse.
Yeah, I'll take care of things on this end.
And as we head out and, get the bike and me into them, and we're heading back to the clubhouse. Can I throw something in, Rich?
Throw it in. That's what I was making space for. Do it.
Okay. I think as we're driving back, we see a set of 4 Swoop bikes come in with Black Heth insignia on them and pair up on either side of me and the worm that's with me and slide us off into an alley.
Nice. Oh, that's good. I like that. Good one. Good one. What about Throttle?
So everybody else is gone. I think at this point, Throttle's gonna walk up to Zinbo like right after Rido has made a hasty exit and be like, "I'm sorry, that's rough that he blew you off like that. That's got to be tough for you. I'm sure not a lot of people do that to you. Like, it's okay though, because he doesn't really know how to get everything out of this bike. Like, he doesn't even know about the double manifold. And like just kind of start showing off the bike, and like definitely angling to ride the bike and maybe flirting with Zinbo at the same time, but mostly flirting with the bike. And like, and if you want me to come over sometime, I can definitely show you how she works. And like, we can get the most out of this.
Nice. Do you want to go to a roll, or do you want to epilogue out how you would like for this to go? Your call.
I don't know how far. I don't want to epilogue that much because
Okay.
Based on whatever might be happening
There.
next, next week I want you to be able to like use Throttle as a piece if necessary,
Okay.
rather than
So
go with
Throttle
and she
Zinbo.
grows to a ripe old age, dies peacefully on her bed surrounded by her many grandchildren.
There you go. That's great.
But I was picturing something like she's kind of obsessed with this bike and or like super fancy bikes now, and like might be willing to do even less ethical things to get to interact with them.
Perfect. Less ethical things like flirting with Rido's lady love. That's great. Cool. With that, we will bring this session to a close. Let's quickly do our gaining experience. These are the group for questions for the entire gang. Did you clash with someone who threatened your people, your club, and the locals who matter to you?
Rook did.
All right. Then 1 XP for everyone. Did you add to the legend of your gang? You gained popularity. You absolutely did. Did you have a conflict with a rival gang or the law? So rival gang, you counted that for your first one, but you guys had trouble with the imps. So yeah, a little conflict that Rido posed. So 3 XP for everyone. And now these are all individual. I will first ask our exiting players. So Keith, for Throttle, did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or rank in the game?
Yeah, I would say for the mechanics.
Did you support another member of the gang when they needed you?
I'm gonna go with no because I don't remember. Well, Armitage. Yeah, I agree to Armitage's plot.
Okay, 5 XP for you. And then for Face, did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or rank within the gang?
I think I did, yes.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And then did you support another member of the gang when they needed you?
I don't know how supportive it was to have Rido give the hand up and initiate the contact, but it was meant to be a little of that.
Think so. I'm good with that. So 5 XP for you as well. Go ahead and soup up your character, and who knows, maybe you'll get to play them again. We'll start from the right-hand side, heading towards the left. Rook, I'm sorry you didn't get much to do. I feel bad about that.
No. I got plenty to do.
Okay. Did
Yeah.
you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or rank?
So to a certain extent, I think I was trying to keep everybody protected, and I think being in the clink basically did give me the ability to keep an eye on what was going on. So I think that whenever Rido comes in, we'll have a chance to do stuff. I'll be able to get him out and see what's going on.
Nice. Pocket, like, let me ask the other question. Yeah. Did you support another gang member? Member of the gang when you need them?
So as a flashback, I helped Rido with his cloak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So 2 XP, so 5 total XP. Let me ask a quick question. We've got 2 different groups going away with Imperials, Armitage and Rido and Rook. Do we want to just say that Armitage gets thrown in the back of the thing so you all 3 start in the same space? Are we cool with that?
I would
Just
like
a-
to
Or
know
maybe-
what she wants before she throws me into the
Yeah,
ring.
that's true. Like, there's a part of me that wanted to have that conversation. There was also a part of me that worried that we'll split the party. It's fine. Okay.
Here's another option. If you don't want to split the party, is the Imperial comes in and they get in the front seat. Armitage and the Imperial get in the front seat to take us off. So they're in the same vehicle, just in the front, and we're in the clink in the back.
It's not
Or
a
we
bad
just
idea.
or we just put Armitage in the clink because she wouldn't do what the imp said and just punched her. Because I mean that's totally in character for her to just go with her and say, hey, the next time you try to threaten me, think better of that, and then she punches her and gets arrested.
Cool. I think we can ponder on that. Those are all pretty good options. Good. Let's move on as we're heading from right to left. So Rido, did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or rank?
Definitely lived up to my rep.
I would agree. And then did you help another SB?
I did. I got Rook covered to get arrested.
Good stuff. 5 XP for you. And then last but not least, of course, is Armitage. Did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role?
I mean, I don't know if I lived up to my rep. I didn't punch anyone. So
Yeah, but you walked into a party with a big old gun.
it's
Right?
true. It's true. That's yes, that's fair.
Point.
That's fair.
We will take it.
And you were the
Correct.
movie star.
And then
Yeah.
did you help somebody?
I did. I helped face with the negotiations.
Excellent.
By telling him, about the kids. So
Good stuff. All right. With all of that, then we can move to stars and wishes. Is everybody good to roll straight to stars and wishes, or does you guys want a quick 2-minute? Or okay, good. We'll start with wishes, ending with stars. Keith and or Tyler, if you have wishes, that's fine. But it's my wish is that you show up. But I know that wish won't be granted. I love gaming with you guys, but I understand work and responsibilities being an adult. Off to get in the way of that. So who'd like to kick off with wishes?
I wish I'd get a chance to play more of these Star Wars games. They're awesome.
Thank you. I'm glad you think so. I think it's awesome because you're with us. Cool.
I also would wish for Tyler and Keith to be there because I like having these characters, right? I will miss them. I will miss Face because having a face is so nice. And I will miss Throttle because having a mechanic is also pretty nice. But, anyway, other wishes. I think I'd like at least some big action to blow us out of this series. Right, because we're gunning for Black Heft for a bit, so maybe have something about that.
Yep, I agree. Cool. Thank you, Sabine.
Yeah, I like that. A big action scene. I totally agree. I'm not entirely sure Rido's coming back. I don't know. The rules of the game kind of mean Rido's out. We'll see. We can talk. And I mean, part of me is tempted to take Ellison on as a player character because now he's our Black Half Mole. This might be interesting.
Ooh, I am not opposed to this idea.
I'll think about it. And then yeah, no, I think we're angling towards exactly what I want, so I'm good.
Okay. Then Steven, did you have any?
Not really. The only thing I can think of is to like get us all together so that we can go off. I felt bad that I kind of split us up and I went off and did my own thing, and but getting us back together for the next session and doing some big action thing would be good. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Then we'll circle back around with you, Steven. You went last for wishes. You get to go first for stars.
Stars. I really enjoyed seeing the added characters that were in this session, especially the face. Seeing the face talk his way through everything was really good. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, and this party spotlight, there were a number of times whenever the dice weren't with us and bad things happened, but whenever they really needed to happen and we got the impression from what's her name? Zimbo, from Zimbo, that worked out great. And I loved seeing how well that turned out. Yep.
Good. Thank you, Stephen. Greg, do you have any stars?
Yes, I have lots of stars. I loved everyone's red carpet moment. I think that was great. And it was a lot of fun. And I love that impulse from you, Rich, to have that moment for us. And one extra star, it's the one I wrote down to Keith when you were fixing up the bike at the beginning of the session. You were talking about turning all of the screws so that they were like perfectly aligned. I had a boss once who made me do that on face plates when I was doing AV for home theater, and it drove me nuts. And I was just like, oh no, throttles that person.
Our contractor does that, which is where I got it from.
Yes, yeah.
That's wild.
I personally couldn't care less, and oh well. But I still do it. I do it after. Yeah. Anyways,
I was trained when I first delivered pizza way back in college. The guy who trained me insisted, like, you need to face your dollar bills, all face the same way. And I've never stopped. Not that I carry a lot of dollar bills in my wallet nowadays, but yeah, I never even cared, and now they're all in order and faced at all times. But yeah, I hear you. Cool, thank you, Greg. Sabine, did you have any stars?
Sure, lots of stars. This was a fun session, and I like seeing face, and I like seeing all of us together and see how the group's dynamic changes with every player who's there or not. That's a lot of fun. I like the scene that all the scenes where we talked about strategies and stuff we wanted to do. That felt very, very nice. And I adored Rido stepping up to Sinbo. That was fun. And then Throttle stepping into the void Rido left. That also, I mean, she has been making eyes at Sinbo before. So yeah, I love that. So yeah, and the big star for the influencer. I loved her. Maybe we'll see more of her, but probably in other Star Wars games, right? Because she's an influencer, she will always be there.
She will. She'll be there to stir the pot. Cool. Keith or Tyler, if you guys had any stars.
Yeah, I just liked a lot of the little moments. It was great to have Tyler in again. And you're so good at embodying the face, like the wordplay of it and stuff, especially that one moment that my tired brain can't remember. I just remember going, whoa, that was good. And I loved all the tiny little bits. I took the notes that I can't quite read. Rido trying to be sexy was very good.
That was fun.
What does this say? Armitage It was a good one though. And Rook's plot of being detained but in readiness. I thought even if it did kind of take her a little bit out of the action, it was a really smart play to have something in reserve.
Well, I quite liked this. I like running swoop gangs for a big group. I think it works pretty well. Flexible for lots of folks to jump in. And I love how everybody rolled with the idea of a gang dealing with being at a big party with a bunch of Imperials. I like the little side plots we had going on, the differing agendas that folks had. The dice didn't love us at critical moments, which was interesting, but not terrible. Hopefully it rolls forward to other interesting stories. And we'll see how that pans out next week when we finish up our Swoop Gangs miniseries. Again, Tyler, Keith, thank you both for playing. And we officially will hand it's like the handoff. All GCOG will be absent from the last session. And Greg may be playing a brand new character if he's able to make it. So we'll see how that goes. With that, I will bring the recording to a close. Thank you all so much.